What's going on, guys? TKD1 to the video, and so we're going to talk about all the brand new music news that came out this week. We have a ton to discuss. We have a lot of things to hit on here in this video, so let's get right into it. Starting off here, when you think of 2007 to 2009 era of music and hip-hop, you think of figures like Lil Wayne in his more prominent heyday. You think of Akon, but most prominently, you probably think of the auto-tune king, the auto-tune master, really, of that day, and of that kind of time of music, and that is TPain. And he was on an interview with XXL, and he had a lot of interesting things to say about music in general and even in terms of himself. He just casually announced and casually said, when asked, hey, are you gonna drop an album this year? He was like, yeah, I am dropping an album, like whatever. Like, it was such a weird, like, nonchalant thing in a time where you see so many people, like, make such big deals and make such big marketing type of, juggernaut, kind of campaigns to really rally around their album and everything. But here we have TPain just casually saying, oh yeah, I'm coming up, I'm coming with the album, it's fine, whatever. And it is called Oblivion, and it will apparently be coming out this year. Now, I don't know if that year will stick. I mean, usually when you're not today in music, it's really, really rare to have a day get moved, unlike in the gaming industry. But, looks like here he'll be, having out this year, so let's hope that's actually a real thing. But he also had really cool things to say when asked about mumble rappers, right? And so he was asked, hey, how do you feel about these mumble rappers? How do you feel about these people, in this kind of genre of music right now that is kind of being birthed as we speak, right? And he really had a very, very nice contemporary opinion about it. And like, he was like, hey, listen, I don't really understand why there is a negative stigma here, because, you really just, when the boil's down to it, you have people just having fun with music, right? And so when you have this people just having fun with music, and you want to be somebody that is talking trash about mumble rappers, talking trash about the genre as a whole, it doesn't really make sense, because if you didn't like the music, then why don't you just not listen to it? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very telling, very, very nice thing that he said there, revolving around mumble rappers and everything, stuff like that. So definitely did appreciate him and his opinion right there on that. But I definitely do implore you to go check out the whole entire XXL interview. It is a great read. Next up here, and mainly this is topic of the show, to be honest with you, and this is the biggest thing that happened this week in music, and that is Taylor Swift and her new album. Now, she had teaser videos and everything, and she even cleared out her entire Twitter account, her entire Instagram, like everything, that she has publicly on a media site. She absolutely wiped completely and started a clean slate for this thing. So you can tell right there, like, that was building anticipation already. And she put out a little quick snippet video of, I guess, a snake and like the leaves or some crazy like that. I don't even know what it was. But here she has now taken to Twitter and announced her full entire album, and it is called Reputation. And that in the name itself is a little bit something that we can touch on later. But she also unveiled the cover art, which looks really cool. It has her face on and everything. And also, when you look at the cover art, you can see where I'm kind of going with this in terms of Kanye West. But when we go back here, right? So the biggest thing that was the issue here was the dates of this album coming out, Reputation, right? So she says, and her team says that, hey, listen, the day of November 10th when the album is coming out, right, that just so happens to be a coincidence that Kanye West's mother died that same day a few years back, right? And so they're just saying, yo, this is just nothing, this is not planned, this is not a planned attack towards Kanye West and the West family as a whole. This is just a regular Friday that plenty of artists really tend to release music on Fridays. That's how it is these days. This is just a Friday that we picked and that that we just kind of nailed down in terms of planning out the album and getting it mixed and everything, stuff like that. And that's basically what they said, right? But a lot of people on Kanye West's camp, a lot of people that are Kanye West fans, I think there is definitely some sort of attack here in having this album drop on the same day as Kanye West's mother's death as well. And then we have the official release of the single Look What You Made Me Do, which brought up a lot of questions also into, there are some definite lines here that seem to be taking shots directly at Kanye West. I'm gonna read you some of the lines here so you guys can get a little grasp for yourself, but let's get right into these lyrics. She starts by saying, quote, I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play of the fool, right? And obviously there, the tilted stage is, a flashback to Kanye West's St. Paulo tour that he went on. I went to them as well. You can go look at that vlog. That was an incredible show. I'll tell you what, that was such a good show, right? But, and she also dabbles into the role you made me play, the fool, right? And that, I believe, has direct correlation to the song famous, right, where there was an infamous phone call where Taylor Swift said that, you know, she didn't agree to being, you know, slanderized by, you know, Mr. West in that song and everything, but there was a phone call that was released a few weeks ago after that whole dilemma that basically proves that T Swift knew that Kanye West was going to say these things, knew that it was on the album and everything, and agreed to it and everything. So she basically made up, and then that's really why she's now called a snake. But also another thing, before we go on to the second lyric here, you can look at the actual art of the Reputation artwork and the font and everything, and the kind of sporadic looking text. Doesn't that kind of, you know, low-key give you a little bit of deja vu in terms of the life of Pablo? That's definitely what I got there. That was my like knee-jerk reaction. Was like, hey yo, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This artwork looks a lot like the life of Pablo, so that's definitely what I took away from that as well. And we're gonna read the last lyric here, and it says, quote, "No, I don't like you. I don't like your perfect crime. How you laugh when you lie. You said the gun was mine. Isn't cool. No, I don't like you." And you know, I haven't listened to the entire track at all. I haven't listened to the track, period. But you know, I don't know how these lyrics are said and like formulated in the song, but they sound really weak when you write it out and you're supposed to just like kind of regurgitate the lyrics. They do seem a little weak, so I don't know if she thinks that like this is phasing Kanye West in some form of way. I don't know if like these are meant to be disses, but these are kind of poor excuses of being disses, if you will. Next up here we have OVO R&B artist, my beloved PARTYNEXTDOOR PND, and he took on to this week and dropped a bunch of tracks. He dropped 4 tracks this week. They're called Naked, Damn, Break Me Down, and Put It on Silent. I have heard none of these just because I feel like these 4 songs are somehow connected or somehow related to the Club Atlantis project that was up on the flags during OVO Fest this year, and it was, you know, to be said by PND, and so I think that maybe these songs are related to that Club Atlantis project. We have no idea. We have no word on what Club Atlantis even is to a degree, but I assume it's a project. I'm assuming it's some sort of album or EP or mixtape or something along those lines, but I am assuming also that these 4 songs are with that current project, so I'm gonna hold off on these songs. I'm not gonna touch them at all really until the album comes out officially. Next up here we have Frank Ocean as well, debuting his 7th episode of Blonded Radio, the radio show on Apple Music that he does from time to time, and he actually unveiled a new song there as well. This was happening right as the VMAs were happening too, so this was kind of weird to see all the VMAs hype on Twitter, and also this like giant wave of just people crowding over Twitter about like, oh my god, there's a new Frank Ocean track. Like, people lost their minds about both those things. But a little bit more about Frank Ocean, honestly. Like, Frank Ocean low-key got a little bit more tweets than the VMAs did. But also, this is another one that I have not heard yet, and I feel safe hearing, you know, this song. Not that I'm expecting this to be on any sort of project or anything that's like anytime soon, so I will definitely be checking out this Frank Ocean track when I get the chance. And speaking of the VMAs, let's discuss the 2017 Video Music Awards in its full entirety. Now, we had performances from a bunch of people. We had Cardi B, Kendrick Lamar, Travis Scott, Kyle, Lil Uzi Vert, Ed Sheeran, and my favorite performance of the entire night, which I did not watch the VMAs live, but I did see some clips afterwards, and pretty much I got the kind of vibe and kind of the, you know, I got the overall kind of majority of what happened in the show. But Logic's performance was absolutely incredible. He performed his 1-800 song. I'm not going to repeat the whole line because I don't know the whole number, but he basically performed his 1-800 song. And while it was a great show, a great performance, he also brought up suicide survivors onto the stage to, you know, huddle up and group up in this really big group hug, and it was absolutely great. It was a beautiful thing to see overall, and I really do implore you guys to go look at that clip and look at the whole entire performance because it was absolutely amazing. And let's discuss some of the winners of the show. For Video of the Year, we got Humble by Kendrick Lamar. For the Artist to Watch Award, we got Khalid. For Best Choreography, which is a thing that I didn't even think would be awarded, but I guess it is, went to Fade by Kanye West, and I love that song. By the way, that is arguably one of my favorite songs Kanye West has ever done. Oh my god, just the beat on Fade is just, oh my god, it just makes my life. And then we got Song of the Summer, which is EXO Tour Life. But really, you know, how could you pick any other song besides EXO Tour Life? You know what, I'll be straight up here. That song is Song of the Year. Listen, there will not be a song that will top EXO Tour Life 100%. And then we got Artist of the Year, which went to Ed Sheeran. You know, great applause. You were on Game of Thrones at some point. You know, good job, Ed Sheeran. I've never reviewed the album from you, and will I won't rule it out. I'm not gonna rule it out, but Will I? I mean, that's also a separate question. Next up here, we have a story here that is super weird, but you know, it's kind of really messed up if you think about it. So here we are, we have another artist being sued again, and we have Katy Perry here being sued. She is being sued by a stagehand who worked on her 2014 Prismatic tour, and basically what went down here was that she was moving a wall, right? I guess this wall was a part of the set, and she was moving this wall with a bunch of her people, and I guess somehow the wall like just moved and kind of hit her toe, and it injured her toe really bad, yo. And there are pictures that I'm probably not gonna show, but Google's a thing, so you definitely go check out those pictures down below. They're on TMZ. I saw them this morning, and those pictures are horrendous. They had to amputate this girl's toe. They amputated this chick's big toe, and you know, you know, the whole amputee thing happened after this whole thing happened. I want you to take a look and really, you know, get a grasp here of what happened immediately after she injured her foot. So homegirl, right, carrying a big wall, injures her freaking big toe. It is black and purple. It is bad. Everything's, you know, going haywire, whatever. And the people, you know, that are working alongside her and really that are pretty much involved with Katy Perry overall, decided that the best course of action was, you know, not to call 911, not to call an ambulance, because, you know, we might have a woman here that might need to literally amputate her big toe, but, you know, just, you know, don't call nobody. They gave her ice, and that's the extent of their care for this woman. I'm just like, how do you look at a toe that needs to be amputated and be like, oh yeah, ice is cool, ice is fine, icy, like 1017. Like, nah, man. Look, no, that's not how you do this, right? And so in the suits, they had not, you know, fully 100% told the public how much she is going for, but I hope it's a lot. I hope it is 6, 7, 8 figures. I don't care. I hope it's a lot for this woman, because how you only get ice for a toe that needs to be amputated, I don't know, but it happened, right? And Live Nation is also involved, the people that are involved with ticket distribution and everything. So we will see how this whole thing unfolds. I hope this poor woman gets what she deserves out of Katy Perry, because this is crazy. And lastly, here on the dock, I want to discuss the horrible tragedy that's going on here right now in Houston. That is Hurricane Harvey. Well, I guess now with the tropical storm, it got downgraded, but still has been causing tremendous damage. There are cities flooded, there are houses flooded, there are people saving people out of houses on boats. I saw this morning. Like, it is absolutely just really sad. And the hip-hop community has all garnered together to help out the endeavor, right? So we had Drake post a very nice, you know, message and everything, and said that he will be working on the ground floor as soon as he can, and will be, you know, kind of helping out the effort as much as he can from a first-hand standpoint. We had Nicki Minaj helping out, we had Kevin Hart, we had Ellen, T.I., Chris Brown, The Rock, and even DJ Khaled. Everyone come together in the hip-hop community. Not so much The Rock and not so much Ellen, but just names to mention. A lot of people came around to help out this Houston thing. So definitely, I really do implore you, if you're in the position and in the spot to help out in any way, shape, or form, any dollar, any penny is worth it. Please go and really do consider donating to Red Cross, donating to anybody else that is helping out the Houston effort. It is a very serious thing, and I hope that if you are watching this somehow, and you are somehow in Houston watching this, I hope that you pull through. I hope that everything is okay for you in the end, and really do send your prayers, really send your good thoughts, really do send all those good vibes out to you, Houston. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for this news episode. If you all enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.